Well, California, our biggest, formerly most prosperous state, is increasingly a place that's impossible to live if you are not rich. Housing costs are sky high. Public schools are failing. The state's chief concern seems to be enabling illegal immigrants and enlarging its homeless population, which it's very good at. John Stossel recently visited San Francisco and found officials working hard there to erect a homeless utopia. Here's part of it.
San Francisco is generous. It offers street people food stamps, free shelter, train tickets, and $70 a month in cash.
San Francisco is just a good place to hang out.
Like many, these two come here from out of town.
Do you like the lifestyle?
Of course I do.
As you just heard, they love the freedom of not having to follow the rules.
So the homeless stay on the streets, and every day new people arrive.
Normal people are just about sick of it. A new poll finds that 53% of Californians, and critically 63% of millennials living in California, want to flee. Ethan Bearman is someone who's staying in California because he hosts a radio show there. He joins us tonight. So, I mean, I got to say, there's no blaming the right for this. It's a one-party state, for good or ill. In this case, looks like ill. And so at some point, do you think, like, what liberal lunacy gave birth to this feudal disaster called California? Has it caused any soul searching for you?
Absolutely. The fifth biggest economy in the world. And you talk about the homeless problem. We can look to Ronald Reagan, the conservative Republican, when he was governor, who turned everybody loose from the psychiatric institutions and the abuses that they had in the early 20th century. But instead of having a plan to get people the proper care they needed in the neighborhoods, he let them free. And so now we have federal
I'm just wondering, I'm sorry, let's just pause it really quick. When was that? Oh, was that like 50 years ago that he was governor of California?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's only gotten worse because of the laws, but we have new leadership now, Tucker, that is actually addressing the problem.
So you're saying that the homeless problem in Los Angeles and San Francisco, not just, but mostly in those two cities, is the fault of someone who is dead and hasn't been governor in 50 years. That's really the answer?
That's the root. That's the genesis of it. When we decided that we can't keep people who need mental health care, conservatorship is the term around it. There are a fair percentage. John Stossel, of course, found 2 people that he could use as an example, as an anecdote to prove how bad it is. But the point is this. We have people who need mental health care. And because of what Governor Reagan did and what the federal courts have ensured since then, is we have a hard time with it. State Senator Scott Wiener actually has new legislation.
You and I both know that closing down the sanitariums, the mental hospitals, was a liberal project from beginning to end. Reagan was the governor. He signed it. Shouldn't have. I agree. But that if you're blaming Ronald Reagan for modern-day homelessness in California, you're not really looking yourself in the mirror and admitting, like, maybe my dumb ideas had something to do with this. I mean, honestly.
No, because now we do have new ideas. So State Senator Scott Wiener has a new bill that's been passed, experimenting with a new conservatorship program. We have Mayor London Breed in San Francisco and Mayor Eric Garcetti in Los Angeles addressing it head on. Mayor Garcetti actually got funding to finally build some housing that was a requirement from the federal courts before we could do something about getting people off the streets.
Wait, so
Mayor
Garcetti's just to be clear, so you're saying, hold on, you're saying very quick, the driving problem is profound mental illness, but we want to put profoundly mentally ill, schizophrenics, for example, in their own housing unsupervised? So that's a good idea, you think?
No, it's a bifurcated problem. You have mental illness on one hand. We also have the issue of a severe shortage of housing, and the courts prohibited anything being done until we got housing built. Mayor Garcetti's working on, as is Mayor Breed.
Darn that Reagan! Oh, my God. Ethan, great to see you. Thank you very much.